Jay-Z in some hot water right now. They accusing him of being on that Diddy timing. Now, at the moment, all of these are allegations, but Jay-Z responded to these allegations so fast. Like, we never seen him respond to something this quick before. But what's going on? Like I said, Jay-Z getting accused of being on that Diddy timing, and what's crazy about it is that this ain't a convo that's brand new. People been having this convo even before this new Jay-Z lawsuit came out. Because if you don't know, Diddy and Jay-Z got a real long history together. They've been cool with each other for years. I'm talking about since the 90s. You done seen them two with each other. And so when everything came out about Diddy, people was kind of looking at Jay-Z crazy like, bro, ain't this supposed to be your mans? Like, this your mans you done do for 30 years. And you never knew that he was on this kind of timing? But past that, this year had been filled with a lot of people accusing Jay-Z and all these other rappers of many things. Remember a few months ago when a woman, Jaguar White, came out and did an interview with Piers Morgan where she spoke about how Jay-Z and Beyonce had more than did. TMZ wrote this: Jay-Z and Beyonce are livid at Piers Morgan for airing an interview with some vague but serious allegations against him, and their attorney is questioning Piers' ethics. The Carter's attorney, Alex Spiro, joined us on TMZ Live, and we asked him about Jay-Z and Beyonce's response. Basically, the woman was in an interview speaking on how Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly did things with not grown people, but that wasn't the only thing she said. Jaguar White further claimed that she had 3 right now who was willing to give a testimony on not only what Mr. Carter has done to him, but his wife as well. She said that they was a nasty couple. They do nasty things, keeping people against their wills, putting people on planes while they unconscious. She was accusing Jay-Z and Beyonce of a lot with no proof. Here's just one clip from the interview.
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately: Sean Carter.
And when she came out doing all this, Jay-Z and Beyonce was mad as hell, and I mean rightfully so. You came out saying this about me with no proof. And they was so mad, in fact, that they called up the nigga who interviewed Jaguar and they threatened, bro. They was like, look, my nigga, you don't take this down, we take you to court. Like, you gonna get cooked if you don't take this down. TMZ wrote this on the situation. Alex says Piers was exploiting the rumor mill by allowing these false allegations to hit the airwaves. And he says that he gave Piers an ultimatum: remove the claims and apologize, or face a court order to take the interview down. Jay and Beyonce's attorney says that Jaguar's allegations are very false and that Piers should have never allowed the claims to be made on his show, blasting him as an irresponsible so-called journalist. And you know what happened? After that threat, that man did get on live and sent out an apology, and people was mad. They was calling bro a bitch. They was like, you got on here and did this, and now you backtrack and apologize.
Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce. As I said, in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. The allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine.
Now, people are coming back around to these clips now that this whole new Jay-Z lawsuit out, wondering if the woman was really telling the truth or not, because this was months before this Jay-Z lawsuit. She said that she had 3 people waiting to come out and say something about Jay-Z months before it actually happened. So people wondering. But this wasn't the only controversy Jay had been in. Before this, in 2024, he was in something else. If you don't know, Jay got a part to play in who gets picked in the Super Bowl. And when it came out this year that Kendrick Lamar was doing the Super Bowl 2025 in New Orleans, people was mad as hell because it wasn't Wayne. And these artists were so mad that they got online speaking crazy to Jay-Z. Nicki Minaj said, denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego. Your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing Lil Wayne, the GOAT. Got everything in the world, still spiteful and evil. Disgusting. Go be happy. In rap business and woman business, when you got the politicians and the police, you good though. But all of this brings us to the lawsuit I was speaking on at the start of the video. Jay-Z and Diddy getting accused of doing something with a not 18-year-old. Now, keep in mind, no facts. This lawsuit is 100% alleged, and I'm just going through what it say. And also, we on YouTube, so I'm not gonna be able to say everything. A lot of stuff gonna have to get censored. But the lawsuit started by saying Diddy and Jay-Z Ard, a not 18-year-old, at an after party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. The lawsuit wrote this: another celebrity stood by and watched this. Combs and Carter took turns. The person, many others were present at the after party, did nothing to stop it. Combs had been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. He believes he's above the law. He is not. His close friend Sean Carter has been with Combs during many such instances. And so this lawsuit went from speaking on them both to focusing on Diddy and his enterprises and some of his essay situations. Just the crazy shit he had been in over the years. Section 4 of the lawsuit wrote this: on the surface, each of these businesses served as a legitimate purpose related to entertainment, music, and other subjects, but in reality, Combs, buying through himself and his agents, employees, contractors, used these businesses to essay, threaten, and coerce hundreds of individuals through a actual quid pro quo scheme, as well as to take advantage of individuals. Combs and his peoples would be like, oh, you'll do something with me, you'll become a star. Is you willing to do this to become a star? Perform this act, or else. It was stuff like that. But section 22 of this lawsuit will be when a focus really got put on Jay-Z. Section 22 wrote this: defendant Carter is like Combs, a wildly successful rapper and businessman. Carter and Combs got a long history together. Carter and Combs had met back in the early 90s. Combs and Carter rose together to the very top of the hip-hop industry in terms of fame and influence by the end of that decade. Section 23 said that these two niggas wasn't just people who did features with each other, but these was people who was real close. These two people that got a real deep friendship that's been documented from the late 90s to today. It wrote that they had went to many industry events together, many parties together, business ventures. It said that these two been through a lot together. And something that can kind of add on to this is some of the Jay-Z controversy he been in. Remember how I said Jay-Z got ties to the NFL? Well, when he originally signed his deal with the NFL, he got a lot of backlash because at this time, if you remember, NFL was facing a lot of racial problems. The whole Colin Kaepernick thing was going on. And so while Jay-Z getting all this backlash, guess who was there to defend him? Sean Diddy Combs. Jay-Z was getting backlash from every side of the internet, and Diddy came to the rescue. He said this ain't just about the NFL, it's about how black and brown people are treated daily across the country. We gotta come together and make the hard decisions. Nobody gonna do it for us. Believe in taking action, taking steps forward to the right direction, and I support all my brothers that's out here taking action. But back to the lawsuit. On section 38 is where the factual allegation section starts. This is what allegedly happened that night. And before I tell you about what allegedly went down, make sure you go tap in with the second channel, Get Like Prince Live. And like I always say, if you enjoy the content over here, you was gonna enjoy it over there. But anyways, the story started out like this. It's September 7th, 2000, and a not 18-year-old had her friend drop her off near the Radio City Music Hall in New York so she could get into the VMAs. But it was a problem. She didn't have a ticket. So she's sitting here outside the VMAs trying to figure out how she gonna get in. And that's when she seen some limos. She seen some limo drivers. She seen some limos pull up. So she kind of took advantage of the situation. And this where shit start to get weird. So I'm gonna read it word for word. Section 41 wrote this. One of the limousine drivers she spoke to claimed to work for defendant Combs. The driver said that Combs liked younger girls and said she was fit for what Diddy was looking for. And while not allowing her into the awards, the driver invited her to an after party. Driver said that he had to drive Combs and others to the after party first, but instructed her to return to his location after the event so that he could pick her up and take her to the after party. Later that evening, she claimed that she returned to the same location and waited for what seemed to her a long time, but the driver eventually returned and drove her to what she described as the after party. Approximately 20 minutes, she arrived at what she believed to be a large white residence with a gated U-shaped driveway. Once inside, two men asked her to sign a document, which she did not read, but she now believes was an NDA. She was told that she could not discuss what went on at the party, and she had given her name and signed the form, but she did not receive a copy. So put everything together. She pulls up to this party, get picked up by the limo, dropped off somewhere. Then she signs the paper, which she now thinks is an NDA, but she didn't read back then. And as all these Diddy allegations came out, many people have said that this man do be making people sign NDAs. You come to the Diddy party, you sign the NDA. You do something with Diddy, sign the NDA. He be passing out NDAs like Tic Tac. So that part really not that far-fetched. But she said when she was at the place and she was going through, she's speaking to celebrities. She was seeing all these people. But this where it get crazy. She said she was allegedly given a drink that made her feel weird. Section 49 wrote this. After attempting to talk to numerous celebrities, she claimed she accepted a drink from one of the waitresses circulating the crowd. The drink was a reddish yellow mixture that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After drinking a portion of that drink, she began to feel woozy and lightheaded and needed to lay down. Looking for a place to rest, she walked down what appeared to be a hallway containing several rooms, and she entered what appeared to be an empty bedroom so she could lie down for a moment, but she did not lock the door. The room contained only a large bed with no furniture of any kind. No television, no furnaces, just a bed. And look, for this next part, we are on YouTube, so I can't read exactly what was claimed in this lawsuit, but you can look it up yourself. So I'm gonna link the little article in the comments, and if I forget, just let me know. The situation goes down, and she's accusing the Jay-Z and Diddy of doing you know what. And so eventually she wrestled, she get out the situation, and once outside, she put her clothes back on and left the scene in the dark. Section 60 wrote this. She attempted to retrace the route taken by the limo driver, and she kept running until she reached the gas station she noticed on her way to the party. A female clerk noticed her in distress and allowed her to use the phone. She called her father, admitted that she had lied about her whereabouts, and asked him to pick her up. Her father arrived shortly before dawn. This brings us to how she feels today. The accuser claimed that she fell into a deep depression that continues to affect her today, but not only that, she received real bad PTSD and seizure disorders caused by the stress and trauma of the situation. Now keep in mind, this is all alleged with no proof, so we don't know if this really went down or not. But guess who had a response to the news as soon as it came out? Jay-Z. And I mean, he just defended himself. If some shit came out like this about anybody and they didn't do it, they're gonna defend themselves. But this is what he had to say. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby, which he had calculated was the nature of these allegations, and public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against them be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims deserve real justice if that were the case. The lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these theatrics. I have no idea how you became such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I've seen your kind many times over. I'm more prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor or dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I gotta sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure these kind of things at their such young age. It's unfair to have to understand these things. These degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to all the true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all quote-unquote celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games. We got very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theories, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have leveled against. If not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughing. And when all of this news came out, it was a lot of discourse about the situation. And one attorney who had been a part of many hip-hop cases over the years had this to say on the situation.
You see the headline. What's really interesting is the backstory leading up to all of this. Jay-Z has been named as a defendant in a lawsuit claiming back in the year 2000, 24 years ago. So here's the backstory from what I'm seeing. The lawyer who filed this lawsuit, his name is Tony Busby. Tony Busby is one of the most, if not the most successful lawyer in America. Deadass. Now, we heard a few weeks ago how Tony Busby, the lawyer, got sued. And somebody sued him in a California court. That person said, hey, I'm a celebrity. And this guy, Tony Busby, is blackmailing me and threatening me, saying that he's going to sue me. He's full of it's all lies, so you court have to stop him. Tony Busby also said that after he got sued, private investigators have been reaching out to his former clients, his former employees, his current clients, trying to get any dirt on Tony Busby to try to get him to back down. Tony Busby has not identified who sued him in California. He hasn't identified who's been sending the private investigators to go after him. But he has been suggesting that it is somebody who he has threatened to sue and that he's going to turn up on and sue if they don't meet his demands. Now, Busby sued in California, private investigators combing through his whole life. What does he do? He names Jay-Z as a defendant. Why would he do that? Remember when I told you he's one of the most successful lawyers in America? That's no joke. And so he's ready. He got his big boy pants on. He said, you want to go? Let's go. It's up.
And the Tony Busby character responded himself to everything said about him. Regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed this frivolous case under a pseudonym, which he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of the alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but has tried to bully and harass me and the plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is very proud of her resolve. As far as the allegations in the complaint filed, we will have to let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not the media. So really looking through this whole situation, who knows what's gonna happen? And I say this because there's no proof of anything at the moment. So all of this is just talk. It's just talk in the air right now. And until something really go down, until some proof really get put down, who knows how the situation gonna go? And this situation getting crazier by the day. Right now, Jay-Z and his lawyers is trying to get the case figured out. They came out saying that they want the judge to reveal the identity or the case be dropped. They feeling like this is just a slander case if they not gonna say who doing this, who came out and made this claim against Jay-Z. But if you want to hear more from me and my channel, click the video on screen right now.